5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, September 25th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I want to thank everybody who tunes in during the live itself, or if you're watching this on rerun. Remember, thanks to the members of Tom's Army, you get to watch this if you are in this live, while I'm actually live, without ads. So you get to have a nice, smooth viewing experience. So thank the members of Tom's Army, please. They put a lot of effort forward. They allow my content to be pushed out here in a way that I feel fit, and they allow you to watch this without ads. And then if you're watching this on rerun, well, that's an incentive for you to join during the lives themselves and also be a part of Tom's Army. But with XRP right now, we're down about 1%. We've broken below a very critical level that we were speaking of a lot yesterday, but we won't talk in the past tense because you might not have been here yesterday, or you might be new to my channel. But we fell below a very critical resistance line that should have been acting as support if we were ready to break out to the next level. It did not. This opens up the door to a drop around the 57.2, 55.6, and as low as far as about 52.4 roughly in current terms, which we'll look at to update that figure. But that's all the way down at the 2018 resistance that's now been acting as a level of support for the last couple of weeks here. For 6.5 years it was acting as a resistance. So we'll get it appears we could get a grand retracement back down there. But we'll definitely have a lot to talk out in this live. I put some numbers together, and between Ripple, Chris Larson's, and these XRP whales as of today, so in the last 24 hours, XRP whales moved 430 million XRP. Well, if you couple that with the facts that on September 19th, 100 million was moved by Ripple, and then a day or two before that, another 150, or a day after, 150 more million were moved by Ripple. That's 250 million. You add on Chris Larson's, that puts you almost to 300, plus these 430 and sporadic little ones that we've seen today by Ripple as well. That gets you to 750 million XRP roughly in under 2 weeks that have been moved. Now just today, there's been almost 450 million tokens moved alone today. So what's really going on between these 750 million XRP that have been moved? Oh yeah, and did I mention, on the 1st of this month, you'll have another billion released from escrow. So is this cause for concern? Or am I reading too much into what's in front of me? Hey, you know, that's for us to debate here during this live. I welcome everybody's comment. I haven't turned them on yet because I feel at ease when I don't have them on in the beginning now. I get through my thoughts, and then we can have an open and honest discussion. And I think we're going to take this to a grand place today. Remember, if you're watching in the audience, you are not a victim. You're not here to make fun of somebody, and you're not here to bring down somebody's their innocence because you think that they're a moron for liking XRP, or you just don't have a grasp on reality. This is a place of positivity. You know, we're winners here, so we have to have all the evidence from the charts and news perspective alike to rationalize our own thoughts. If you're somebody who comes in and asks me, does TA really matter if we know where the price is going? Well, my simple response to you would be, how do you know where the price is going? If you don't do TA, how would you even understand where the price can go? Are we just rationalizing by saying I watched somebody on YouTube who said it can go to $7,000 and that's where it's going to go? Or someone who said it's going to... So how do we know where it's going to go without technicals? We don't. So I think that question as a whole is just stupendous. It's a stupendous question. Is TA really necessary? I don't know. I'll ask the fact that I don't have to go to a 9 to 5 if TA's really if it means something or not. If you're buying an asset, not just crypto, but don't you want to buy in at the right time? You don't want to be sitting here like a lot of people that are down 70% right now in XRP because they didn't look at the technicals. They just listened to what somebody said. If you look at the technicals, you can also listen to what somebody else says and sees if they're telling you the truth or just kicking you in the nuts and giving the old dick twister. Excuse my French. But it's true. You need to know. You need to know if this person has testicular fortitude or they're looking to squeeze you, in a way that you don't really want to be squeezed. Because that's what ends up happening. Our portfolios get squeezed and then we can't move forward when the time's right because we have no portfolio. So I think technical analysis is very important. And for everybody who doesn't think so, all I'll say is eat your heart out, We are what we are. So if you study the technicals, you're going to understand what you're doing. Don't you want to learn as a trader? I think being a trader, don't you want to know what's going on here in this daily candle? Don't you want to know why it feels a little bearish here? Don't you want to realize that that's a gravestone doji more than likely set up there, unless we pull down a little bit farther in the last hour and a half? But even if we do and we stay down, that's a bearish candle. Don't you want to know why, if it extends out, it can be a long leg doji instead of a gravestone doji? It's still a doji candle nonetheless, but there's differences, you know? So I think it makes a lot of sense to want to know the technical analysis. If you're an investor and you don't think the technicals are important, I'll tell you one honest thing. You're going down where many others have gone that don't read the technicals and just try to trade. You're going down to bankruptcy, because anybody who's ever invested who doesn't know what they're looking at loses all their money. And that can either be because you're holding an asset for too long and you ride it to the bottom, you miss out on bull market to bear market variances, so you can't buy in, or you miss out on the bear to bull market, so you don't sell the profits and you continue holding even back into a bear cycle. In my opinion, that's the number one reason why you should understand technical analysis. Whether you love an asset or not, you can't be married to it, because if you've experienced a big substantial gain, let's take 21 for example. There's some people that weren't at 15 cents. They wrote it up to $1.98. They 10x their money and saw more. And they didn't sell, and they just wrote it all the way back down, and now they're sitting here at 4x happy. But what they're not understanding is they could have sold it out for that 10x. So if they bought, you know, $3,500 worth, they could have made 35 grand, sold it out, rebought it back in at 34 cents and called it a day, or 28 or 38. And they would have been doing very, very well. Most people, though, can't get out of their own way because we can't see what the charts are telling us. We don't understand that this isn't just a downtrending blue line, but it's actually a 6.5-year downtrending resistance plus that for the first time we're bouncing off of. We're not paying attention if we don't know the technicals, that there is a very real chance that we could create this inverse pattern that ultimately gives you that one last back test. It could happen. That's a scenario. We've also got from September 8th, because we understand the technicals, that 55.7 could be a stopgap measure if it falls below 57.4, because that's a short-term support that was created on this inverse head. So it's very possible that we only create enough of a pattern to come down here. So it's nice to understand what the technicals have to offer. So in layman's terms, absolutely you need to know the technicals. And if you think it's not worth it, don't trade crypto. And in fact, don't trade at all. Go play the casino. Go to the casino and put your money in a slot machine. There you don't need to know the technicals. You just put your money in and hope for the best. Although, for anybody who's actually played the slot machines, is they're not a system, some people think you're crazy. But if you actually know the games, you happen to know that certain things that light up, like you might have a game where something has to get a certain size, like there's pig games or whatever, you have the coins hit, and then if it gets too big and expands, you get into the bonuses. Some people just leave when it gets to the point right before the bonus because they don't understand what they're looking at. They just think they throw their money in and it's random. In most cases it is, but there's other ways to give yourself the odds in your favor. Always look at the odds in your favor. A big way to put the odds in your favor, not just the news that we see, but the crypto fear and greed index. Remember what we've said? If you know nothing about crypto, you buy in fear, sell in greed. So if you're buying in fear, when XRP was back down 52, 53, 48, you were able to sell it in greed at 61, 58, 60, 59, 57. And then more than likely, once this plays out again, unless we happen to break out here, which we haven't done in 3 years, so do I think we're going to do it now? It's speculative at best, because I still believe we have to have a post-rate cut dump in crypto. It's just something I believe. I also believe that if Bitcoin didn't push past that 64,000 and some change, it was a big problem. And it's only a big problem because if it doesn't push past here, it can't get to that 68,900. And then it very well could open this megaphone pattern back to the downside. Because for all intents and purposes, like I said before in the run-up, if we don't break past here, and that's like 64,900, we can see clearly. But if we didn't break past here, that could just complete this back up. And then if we get sell pressure, it could just come right back down. But do we come back down, or have we fulfilled that? You know, these are all things. We have a magnificent cup and handle, and it's like a megaphone on the handle. I believe that's what it looks like here on Bitcoin's handle. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm calling it. So, but that's what it looks like. So is Bitcoin actually going to come down here? Is this death cross actually invalidated now? Have we finally done enough? This is what we're going to find out here in the next week, because the monthly candle closes. So if you don't think we're going to have some volatility here, you got another thing coming, sweethearts, my brothers and sisters. So see how many people are here that are willing to give it a go here this evening. 79 people. Make sure to hit that like button. Less than half of you have hit that like button. It's going to be very difficult for me to push this content. I don't want to talk about the likes because it sounds like a broken record. But hit the like button. If you want my content to succeed, if you want more people to find this community, and if you respect what I do with the time I put in, hit that like button. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. I really want to push my content. You know, my time is very valuable because each day I do this, I get 1 year older and one less day on this planet. So I'd like as many people as possible to be influenced by the truth. My time is very valuable. That's the truth. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Love seeing that. Mo, welcome in along with Rob Hokelek. Thank you both for being in Tom's Army for 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Jason Dads, welcome in. A newer member in Tom's Army. I love it. I love it. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on there. I kid you not. He says, hi, I'm Jay from the UK, and this is first time I've understood how to do this. Excellent. I'm glad to see you in here, mate. Thank you so much for joining us from the other side of the pond. At least from me. John Hall. Excuse me. Hasty, welcome in. Bruce, XRP World, and Wally, thank you all so much for tuning in. Excellent. I take screenshots of all my charts, and I get ChatGPT to tell me everything I need to know. That is not a bad idea. I never thought of doing that, actually. That's a great idea. Bruce says, Tom, you know I daily talk trash on XRP, but you... Oh, I know you do, Bruce, and you keep it real. Hey, you know, I'm not opposed to talking shit about XRP. I'm not opposed to calling it the same old sometimes when it's deserved. That's why in my update today, or earlier, a little earlier, I said it's this XRP, the same old, or whatever, or here we go again. Because it seems like the same thing, it's on repeat right now. But Bruce, we love seeing you in here. At least I do. I want to buy more, but do you think I should wait to see how far we pull back? Well, I'm in the camp where I don't buy XRP over 40 cents. So if you're asking me, I mean, we'll look at the technicals, and you have to make an open and honest decision. I'm not a financial advisor, and I would not influence you one way or the other in that regard. Ooh, Pump Master Flag. I love hearing that. True, welcome in. I really appreciate that. The 6th is my birthday. It's a Sunday, y'all. I mean the 7th, right? Excellent. Well, happy birthday to you in the future here, True, and I'm glad that you can ask an honest question because you would know the day. George, welcome in. Joseph Hasty, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Derek JL Falcon, welcome in. Derek Miller, good evening from Burnham on Crouched, UK. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in, mate. And Daniel, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Greatly appreciate that. We are now all caught up. Good evening, Mark Casson, and thank you for also being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. I can put my phone away, and now we can get to the real business. JL Falcon, early. Early as in, you mean from 6:30? Well, a lot of my times I've been coming on a little bit different now that my kids are back in school. Did he go back to sleep? He just stayed asleep? Yeah, so he gonna stay asleep all night.
He's been able to move his leg and roll him over a little bit.
Oh, that's nice. Syrian, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor and being a very trusted mod. I greatly appreciate that. You are welcome to do whatever you want. XRP right now, it looks bearish on the daily. That's a bearish daily candle, at least for now. We've got an hour and 40 minutes. Oh, early morning where you're at. I got you. 8:20 in the morning in Australia. Ooh. I appreciate your dedication. But does everybody see what's going on here in the daily? Does that look bullish to you, or does it look like we had a bearish rejection here at about 58.9 cents? Because that's what it seems like to me. This could be an engulfing candle, too, to start the next day. That's all I'm going to say here. If it continues like this, and then it should bring us... It'll probably bring us back down to the 57.45 area for a retest. if we continue with this bias. Because what's going to end up happening here is we've had a bearish cross, and this is where it starts to get interesting, because now the 200-day down here in the 2 hours at 57.8, but the 1 hour is giving way right now. If it gives that 58.46 back, that gives way, and then we lose that 2 hour or the 200-day support in the hourly. I got hit by a car. I don't have a job right now. Ooh. I'm sorry to hear that, XRP world. That's interesting.
We've been there.
We have been there indeed. We have been there indeed. More than once. Go back to July 4th and 5th. Let's go back to July 4th and 5th. So you want me to go way back? I mean, there's really not a big reason to go all the way back, but we could. I know where you're going to talk because we've got this pattern that formed back here. I don't know if I would go... I'd probably just go from here. I know exactly where you're going to point to, so I need to go on a different chart. Because I don't want to screw this one up. But this... I know exactly where you're going with this. Because we've had a consolidation here that goes back like... Not a terribly long time. Huh? Is that who this is? Mosquitoes that were by me?
Yep.
But I mean, you can just look at this chart, everybody. That's all this chart is. Look, July from right here, and then you get the resistance. This is this exact formation. You could start it from here, but it goes farther back. I mean, we do have a consolidation here if we go like this, and it does bring it back into a certain trend, but I don't really think it changes much of what we're seeing here, if I'm being honest. It could bring us down farther, but we would still have to clear the open levels. That's 52.7. That's exactly where that's the 2018 resistance, that support. I think that just validates what I'm saying. Is that why you're telling me? I think you're trying to help me. You're trying to help me prove what I'm trying to say. But if we look at it, the 2018 resistance, that's exactly what I'm talking about right here. And I already have this from a smaller extent what it looks like it's going to do, but it does pile in here. I think you're just trying to help me, to be honest, because you pulled something out here that actually validates what I'm trying to say, and I appreciate it. Most people just try to bust my balls. Because you could even extend that out, but this is the September 8th uptrend as well. But yeah, I like what you said, because this pulls it back, and we can see, like, we've got that uptrending support here. I love that. I love that. Because this should get us that. I love seeing this. This is beautiful. Actually, this is exactly what we're trying to emphasize here. Now, it doesn't mean it has to go down. It is sure huge. It sure is. You got that right. But I mean, once you understand, and then we can see, how do we have a big collapse back down? Well, you know, you break that area. But it's more than that, you know. For anybody who hasn't seen it, I'm going to just... I don't want to delete all of the numbers because they're so important. No Diddy parties here. No sirree, Bob. No sirree, Bob. Well, Tom, don't you dare lump me in with that scumbag. Bob. See, you bring up his name one time, and he plays the victim all the time, Bob. Bob's like the general audience that can't help but play the victim. Well, Tom, I just don't like to be associated with pedophiles. Let's not get off the cuff here. So, XRP at $3.31. All-time highs here on Bitstamp. It did go to 380, whatever, on certain exchanges. So, we've got support at 10.8. Hey, Bob, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Heart for over 6 months with the XRP predictor. Oh yeah, JW, we got to tone it back already. Roman, welcome in. What do you really think is going on with all these wallet transfers? Oh, we'll get into that when I'm good and ready. I'm building up to that point. I'm building up to what I think all these transfers are. But this is the overall pattern, everybody. So if we take it out into today's terms, we've consolidated here. We've consolidated here for so long that, doesn't it make sense? Doesn't it make sense for us to come back down and actually prove that is in fact a new resistance that flipped to support, I think it makes sense to come. I do think it makes sense, and that's why I've been talking it. And we've got every reason why if it goes up where it can go, but until it breaks out, I honestly believe that it's going to have to do something like this. Now, with how manipulated XRP is, does it have to? Absolutely not. We're on the top side of this, and we've already consolidated once. But I see an inverse head and shoulders trying to form here. And not to mention what was brought up by a beautiful member of the audience, just seeing this formation, it should lead you more satisfaction here that, hey, we're probably going to come down here more. But if we're not, there's a reason why. And we already know, because we could look at it like this and be like, hey, you know, we could get over this resistance, but guess what? We didn't. We didn't. Like, this is how you micromanage a pattern. Now, are the technicals important when you do something like this? I'll let all of you respond. Like, are the technicals important when you do something like this? I believe it is. I believe it absolutely unequivocally is. Honestly, for all intents and purposes, it is cheap right now, but it's not cheap like some of us want it to be. Like, I believe when it gets sub 40 cents, everybody who just ignores it is just, I don't want to call you a fool, but you've got to really analyze when XRP is below 50, because you know, in the last 2 years especially, every time it's under 50, within a few months, it comes back up and retests the 60 and 70 cent level. And furthermore, with that downtrending resistance where it is in the 2018 resistance, you know, if you're buying at sub 40 cents in today's terms, you've still got to where it should come up, even if we're below this, to 51. And even if you come out here to November to 48. So there's always an opportunity. As long as you're not using this and falling below the next level, you can always look at it like this. Oh, July 4th was an absolute gift. It was an absolute gift. That was where I made my most money in crypto, to be honest, because I bought $5,000 worth of the XRP Bitcoin pairing, and I was able to ride it for about 30%. So that was such a, for me, that was an astronomical move, because some of you remember what I did with that. I added the B2 Gold, and then B2 Gold ended up running up about 30%, 25%, and it just ended up changing my portfolio as far as my precious metals holdings, with or commodity holdings, which right now, as you guys know, I'm very skittish right now with the commodities, but because I believe that gold or commodities and it's their self might have some kind of small retracement, at least the commodities. But I keep telling you, take advantage of the opportunity. Monitor your risk. Like XRP right now, does it have to go all the way down? No, it doesn't have to, but in the way it's setting up, is it giving us more reasons to believe day by day that maybe we do need to go back down there? Absolutely. Now, as far as what's really going on here, well, first we're going to like the relaxation so that I don't go unhinged. But what is really going on here is we're probably going to get an SEC appeal, and we're probably going to get a price drop once that news is announced. So if I had to guess, Ripple, the whales, Chris Larson selling another set of XRP today, with all this happening, they're probably just getting ready for that initial down. The initial down, get some profits. As you know, XRP holders single-handedly fund Ripple's, Ripple's project, which, hello everybody. No, this is the scenario if we have an appeal, Jack. I'm not convinced there's going to be an appeal, but from what we're seeing, all indications point that there's probably going to be an appeal. I'm not convinced we're going to have an appeal yet. But let me just finish my point. So if all that happens, that could be a reason why all these movements are happening. Now, the other reasoning for them to move things like this is the whales are just trying to get their stuff set up for an expected move, right? If there's some kind of anticipated move amongst the whales, Ripple has to pay for cost of business. So I hate to break it to you, but if you're an investor, that's your job. Everybody says, we're paying for Ripple's operation. Well, who the hell do you want to pay for it? But they're investors. Aren't you investing into the technology? A trick here, ladies and gentlemen, is you've been so fleece-heisted and shysted by so many people that you don't even realize when you invest in a stock, a crypto, a commodity, an asset, You're helping them run their operation. You're basically a stakeholder, right? You own a piece of the stake. So you have to incur some of the costs, but you also get to bring and reap the rewards if you're right about your bet. If you're right about the company that you're trying to build up, you'll be handsomely rewarded in the end. That's how it works. Hey, I appreciate that, True. Thank you so much. It could be a trickery. It could be a trickery because, yes, Gary Gensler made him, he was look like a jackass, which he is, but at least he was made to look like one. I got 2 mosquito bites while I've been on here. Excellent. Right on my face. So let's read about Chris Larson, though. We'll get in. Actually, I want to read Chris Larson after. This is the latest with the whales, and it talks about Chris Larson as well. So XRP whales move 430 million coins as Ripple's Chris Larson dumps XRP. So in a riveting turn of events, XRP whales have once again taken the broader crypto market by storm on Wednesday. Recent on-chain data indicates nearly 430 million coins moved by whales, sparking speculations as Ripple co-founder Chris Larson heavily dumped XRP previously. Meanwhile, XRP price continued to consolidate below 60-cent level at press time, bringing additional attention to the large-scale transactions. According to data by Whale Alert on XRP whales, XRP whales moved 431.08 million coins to and from exchanges and unknown wallets in the past 24 hours. That's a large amount of movement. These transactions emerging right after Ripple co-founders' massive dumps consisted of an accumulation, a dump, and transfer to other unknown wallets collectively. As per Whale Alert data, 30 million coins worth 17.68 million were accumulated from Bybit by the unknown address RAQXZL. Further, 17.23 million XRP worth 10.16 million was dumped to the SEX Bitstamp by the renowned address RZN, which is the Ripple address, as we've come to know. Simultaneously, a staggering 383.85 million tokens worth 224 million were moved from the address, as you can see, R4S to RKU. These gigantic transactions in light of Larson's XRP dumps have sparked significant discussions across the crypto community. CoinGate Media reported that Chris Larson transferred millions of coins to SEX's Binance and BITUNIX recently. Aligning with this, the XRP whale transaction sparked enough intrigue to magnetize market watchers. So, nevertheless, the XRP price continued its consolidation below the 60-cent level. We already know, yada, yada, yada. Ripple-backed assets 24-hour trading volume jumped 19% to 1.07 billion. And also, the XRP price analysis showed XRP's futures open interest was up 0.7% to 745.55 million. And the derivatives volume today soared 15.52% to 869.62 million. This data has sparked contrasting sentiments about the asset's future performance among market participants. In the wake of recent XRP whale data, Chris Larson's massive dumping, and also the SEC's nearing appeal deadline, crypto market participants continue to eye the token extensively. So, down here, the only other thing of note is that James Farrell and Mark Fagel expect an appeal by the Regulatory Commission, the SEC. And then digging a little deeper with Chris Larson, so he had another transfer here. So Ripple's Chris, because we're going to have to look at all of this to see if we can build a logical conclusion here. And please hit that like button. 90 people watching, 68 have hit the like button. Not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible. Ripple's Chris Larson unnerves XRP community with latest transfers. So Ripple co-founder Chris Larson has puzzled the community with another series of XRP transfers that took place on Monday. The 64-year-old billionaire sent 3 million XRP tokens to Binance and 15 million tokens to BITUNIX activated wallet, which that's for sale. You're not sending it there unless you're looking to get some money. The recent transfers have baffled the XRP community, with many speculating about their intended purposes. Some community members half-jokingly speculated that he might want to buy another Porsche supercar. Larson is known for his automotive swagger. Last year, the Ripple co-founder attracted some social media attention with his Porsche 9. Who gives a rat's ass? Larson is also a prolific political spender. The entrepreneur has been heavily involved in San Francisco's political life. Yada, yada, yada. Recently, the Ripple co-founder also spearheaded the funding round for the cryptocurrency-based decentralized clearing network Yellow alongside such backers as Consensus and Moonrock Capital. Larson has also famously invested in plenty of security cameras that have been installed across San Francisco. Oh yeah, that's what we want. More Big Brother. As one of the co-founders of Ripple, Larson received 5.19 billion XRP tokens. Following XRP's massive rally in early 2018, he became one of the richest people on the planet. Even though the token is far from its lifetime peak, Larson still has an estimated net worth of 3.2 billion, which makes him one of the richest crypto personalities. Tom, look up the second moon next month. In time. But I know we do have this moon phase coming, so it'll be interesting. And then just some of the other moves that some of you might have missed by Ripple. 100 million XRP moved to Bitso by Ripple, so a recent transaction. And this was just a few days ago on September 19th. Sparked concern about, as a wallet linked to blockchain payment, Ripple transferred 100 million XRP. That's 57.9 million to crypto exchange Bitso, so that is not to an unknown wallet, so they were looking to sell that. And then Ripple moves another 150 million XRP as the price surged. And that was on the 14th. Ripple moved 150 million XRP worth 85 million. And they moved it to... It says it's the first time Ripple moved a large amount to that wallet. And on July 9th, they had also sent 150 million to that wallet as well. So just pay attention. And that was RP4. So just pay attention to that wallet. So those are a couple different times in the last couple weeks. Oh, there's going to be a massive rally. There's going to be so many people disappointed. That's why I buy my XRP and they go in the cold wallet. Unless I'm looking to swing trade when I buy the XRP Bitcoin pairing, that's not part of what I hold. You know? So, as some of you know. So that's the reason I use the strategy I do. I know we're going to have a massive, massive move eventually here. When I say massive, I mean it's going to be something because we've got an epic bull flag that's been set up for years. And I hope short term it just goes up and that we can invalidate this thesis to the downside. I really do. But I know in time it would be more beneficial for us to do exactly what we're showing. So am I going to hate it if it does it? No, because I know what's going to happen. Let's see what they say for the price prediction and outlook for the week. I'm just curious. So, Ripple's XRP price prediction and outlook for this week. XRP's volatility decreased this week, and the price has been moving sideways. The key support level is at 54 cents. Key resistance levels. Hey, UK Phil, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. I really appreciate that. Key resistance level 60 and 68.1 cents, and we know we got rejected initially at that 60 cent level. XRP is consolidating in a flat trend under 60 cents. So far, buyers failed to break this level and turn it into a key support. While momentum remains neutral, bulls could attempt to take this cryptocurrency higher in the days to come. Momentum is flat. If we look at the MACD, moving average convergence divergence, and RSI, the relative strength index indicators, we can see that momentum has been flat since mid-September. The price also remained in a tight range with little volatility as it continued to move sideways. Despite this, the daily moving average convergence divergence is on the positive side, which favors buyers. 3, volume is declining. The lack of volatility has pushed market participants away from XRP. Since the spike in August, the volume has been in a consistent decline. Due to this, price failed to make any major moves, and until the 60 cents resistance is broken, buyers are unlikely to return. Can't disagree with that, honestly. You can't disagree with that. I mean, very finicky with the XRP community. But honestly, it's in, for all intents and purposes, if you don't own XRP right now, you are in no man's land. Because how many times have we come down sub 40 cents? And like I always say, you're always going to come down below 40 cents again until you don't. It's always going to be a bad buy here until it's not. You're always going to feel like you're being cheated until you aren't. You're always going to feel like it's manipulated until it's in your favor. See, if the price was manipulated up, nobody would give a rat's ass. That's why I don't put any stock into everybody bitching and complaining, pissing and moaning about XRP being manipulated. Are you going to complain when it's manipulated in our favor and they turn the cells off by the trading bots? No, I'm not. Do I want a regulated market? Hell no. Hell no. Because then they halt. So wait until the day comes that you're in a leverage trade or you're in a spot trade when XRP is up 72% in a day. And because it's a regulated market, they halt it. The specific exchange has the ability to halt it because of the funds moving too quickly. If you don't know what I'm talking about, take a look in the stock market. That's the sole reason I ended up in crypto, because I got caught in a halted situation one too many times when I was about to. So you definitely don't want that. A lot of people are calling for stuff that's going to drop them. You're going to get tombstoned into the ground. See what I did there? Literally. And for all the stuff we're calling for in crypto, it's going to bankrupt us. We don't want this. We don't want this. So what we want is this to be a casino-like atmosphere. If somebody doesn't know what they can do and they don't know what the hell's going on, let them put their money in so that we can spit it out of them and we can make it. That's how it works. Somebody else has to go broke for us to get rich. I hate to break it to you, but you're either the fish or you're the hunter. Would you want to be the fish or do you want to be the hunter? Do you want to be the supplies or do you want to be the supplier? Like that's the thing. Do you want to supply everybody else or do you want to own it? Like it's a very simple proclamation here. That's why our election's so important, but the central banks control both sides, right? That doesn't mean that if you understand what's going on, that, yeah, Trump might not be your savior, Kamala Harris might not be your devil, or she might not be the savior, or whatever the case may be, because I don't believe in politics, because the central... But the point is every time you vote blue, makes it harder for the working man. Every time you work red, they're in favor of keeping a little bit more money in your pocket to make you think that you have more of an opportunity, but you really don't. But you get to keep a little bit more of what you have to go give your life away for. So that's what you have to remember. And in this particular one candidate aligns with the UN, which we're going to find out on October 5th if the U.S. is officially going to sign away our country, which it already basically has. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's already too late anyhow. You weren't paying attention. It's already over. See, there's nothing we can do now except prepare our own selves and each other. It's already too late. Time's up. Time's up. And unfortunately, I know what my great country is going to do. Kamala Harris is going to be your next president. And that's not me wanting to say that, but I can see what's going to happen. Our country, that's just what's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. My bank account, which I don't really put money in the bank, but you know, I fear for this country big time. And my son's only 5. He's special needs. He was in a very serious accident when he was small. He's got a severe developmental delay, which he's actually doing very well right now. But I fear for what's coming. What happens when our parents, my parents, that generation, it depends how easily the public can be manipulated. If enough people will agree to Harris, they'll have no problem. In my state of Michigan, they made it illegal. Gretchen Whitmer, our governor, made it illegal to look at the ballots after. So let's say Michigan voters vote, it comes out that there's a bunch of scamming and votes weren't counted properly. It's illegal now to go back and recount in Michigan. Go look at all the ballots where it's illegal. So if you don't think something grander is going on here, you're not paying attention. All these Venezuelans and illegals coming in, who do you think they vote for? You're not paying attention. The fact you don't need a driver's license or voter ID card this time, you are not paying attention. I don't want to say that. I hope I am wrong. Believe me. Oh, believe me. But I think the U.S. is ready now to do what their ultimate plan is. I unfortunately believe that. Did Trump get in over Biden? Wasn't that hands down? But anyhow, I'm just saying, it'll be the way they meant it to be. So all we can do is prepare. So you should have your gold, you should have your silver, you should have your commodities in time with commodities, because if you didn't ride it up here, what do I always say? When things go up, you have to correction phase. So now, is it more likely we're just going to rally out? Or after such a long consolidation, does it seem more likely that we would come back down here first before the grand breakout? I think it makes more sense at 316. I could be wrong, but I'm betting on the fact that it's going to go to 316. So, and what was the manifesto with Kamala? See, now somebody's speaking my language. That we're all going to be a world, basically one world citizen. Her manifesto was communist. Look at her parents and her grandparents. That's what she was raised by. So you just have to look at the connections. When Trump was in office, I hate to break it to everybody, but he was in office to build our military. For what? We weren't meant to have war. We were meant to expand our military. For what? For what's coming. There's always a grand plan at play. I like Trump just as much as most of you, but I also am not oblivious to the actual game. I know exactly what's going on. And nobody can trick me into not thinking what's going on. Nobody. Nobody. That's how I knew Michigan was going to win the national title last year, because they were part of the... Everything they were doing showed that they were a part of the Illuminati last year. It was their time. They signed the deal with the devil. That's all I could tell. Was it worth it? Probably not. So yeah, that's... Everything's lining up. Everything's lining up. Commodities are going to be friggin' huge. Gold and silver is going to go so high that some of you will literally bash your head into the wall. Some of you might have already. Some of you might have already. Ales Pond, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Oh yeah. But I'm not sugarcoating it. I really feel like what's going on here is so easy to picture, and we know where XRP goes when we break out, but we also have to understand, like, we're not going to get the wool pulled over us if in fact that this is a bearish daily and we're going to come all the way back down to 52.8 area. Or if we're going to come back down to 57.4 or 55.7 or 52.24. You know, and I really believe that inverse right arm is probably going to do that. Does it have to? Hell no. Speculation and conjecture at best, but we're trying to make a good representation here based on the technicals in front of us and by what we're seeing in current times. Now, this, I'm going to get rid of some of the noise here. Noise gone. Noise be gone. Noise gone. There, that's better. Some noise gone. This candle, as I said in the beginning of this live, looked bearish to me. And it's still sitting in a gravestone fashion. So... Exactly, true. Exactly. That declassified comment, oh, I know it all. I've looked up all of it for well, not all of it. I don't know everything. But this is stuff I've been doing since I was 11 years old, and my mom could attest to it. I used to yell at my parents, and they were divorced. My mom from the bottom of the stairs, telling them that, I can't believe you can't see what's going to happen in 25, 30 years. How can I be 11 years old and you guys are too stupid to... Oh, I used to get pissed. I could see this when I was 10 and 11 years old. I used to have dreams of purgatory, and I didn't know it. I would have dreams where I felt like I was asleep forever, and it was just pitch black. And it was my own personal hell, because I had to experience a level of purgatory. I was having an inner awakening when I was real young, and I didn't know why at the time, but I was given the ability to see things that are out in front of us that most people don't. I've been given the power of... I don't even know what the right word is. XRP Healthcare, yeah, up 15.1% today. It's a beautiful move. And a lot of people asked me where I would buy XRP Healthcare, and we were very transparent. If you haven't got in yet, when it bounced up here at 3.6, if it holds this, we've got another move up to about 3.9. Looks like we're about to make that move up to 3.9 now. Which, actually... It's actually a bigger formation, I think. I think the shorter part of this I might have had correctly. But I think we're building another top end resistance. If we can get out of this, this would be absolutely fan-fucking-tastic, actually. I didn't realize we were building this. Look at this. If we get over this, we've got a bigger target here. Look what we built. This is awesome. Technicals, do they matter? I don't know. Do you like to get excited about things like this? If you don't, wouldn't you like to get excited about things like this? For members, or for a one-time payment of $330, you can buy my course. No, that's a joke. All you have to do is watch every single day. But I'm sure there's many people on YouTube where you could in fact, buy their course that will teach you exactly what you're learning here for free. So, you see that? That's what it ends up possibly being, the top end potential. So, is it really 3.9, or did it open up to 5 cents now possibly? Oh, the crypto guru. Somebody, yep. Jorge, that's one of them. A venture capitalist, a multi-millionaire, showing you on air right now a $700,000 portfolio that he's made off of most of you. But he wants you to buy a $300 plus course. You know? You can't make that up. That's not how we're supposed to push our wealth. We're supposed to be excited. Yeah, but what he doesn't tell you is it came down from 960,000 and he's at 700 and something. So from the top, he's down over $250,000. He sometimes tries to speak it off, saying that, oh, I used my card, and then when he tried to do that, it showed one time. He's like, I've used thousands and hundreds of thousands this week, and it showed a $400 debit. And he's like, well, in the past, and then he went past the last 6 months, it's like 1,400 or 14,000, but he was down 250,000. I love it though, because I like that guy. It takes some balls to show that big of a portfolio, because literally, you think the simpleton like we talk to most days in our audience, who aren't part of our army, who just come in and leave, you think the simpleton can stomach a 57,000 point drop or dollar loss? Oh, I love the guru. That's why I talk about him in a positive fashion. I do like him. There's things I would change, but I do like him. He gives you that positive element. And I really like when he talks about our Lord and Savior and the covenants of God. He believes in one very strongly that I do. You do not take another life, no matter what. Unless, you know, unless your life is legitimately it's take or be taken, that's the only scenario where you should ever even be given that option. Even war, I can't say that it's justified. That's just, unfortunately, you bought into a bigger evil, you know, and that's not your fault necessarily, but we're very influential when we're young. That's why we shouldn't be allowed to make those decisions when we're in high school. But, you know, what I believe isn't what everybody else believes, and what you believe isn't necessarily what I believe. So that's what's beautiful about each and every one of us. Now, with XRP Healthcare, that's an interesting candle, because it's probably not going to hold up like this, but that's an inverted hammer. But it probably will have a reversal by the time this is done. So in the next 21 minutes, maybe it'll come down and break this 336. I don't know. But it certainly looks like it's trending down towards this area. Alice Pond said, I always thought when I was a kid that I would find a huge bag of money. Now I find myself 40. Hey, I'm 40 as well, about to be 41 in December. And honestly, I've never felt better, which is ironic. I wouldn't go back. Every year that I get older, I'm blessed even more. Because the knowledge we attain allows us in that next year. So every yearly journey, what have you done for yourself? If you're not improving on that next yearly journey, you better get it right. Or at least come to an understanding with yourself what you need to do to get it right. At this point, for me, I'm 40 years old. I know when I'm doing something right or wrong. I can feel it. You know, even when I'm trading, if I'm not trading in the fashion I should be and I'm gambling too much, I can feel it. If I'm taking too much time doing something that I don't want to do, you know, you come to an understanding now. He said 40 years later with a huge bag of XRP, I think my dream will come to fruition. Yes, sir. 30 bands. YouTube keeps kicking me from your live. I don't know why that is. As you can see, I don't have any, I can't do anything. I have nothing on my screen that I can hit. And I don't have my YouTube studio open or anything. But YouTube is very finicky. I get shadow banned very hard, so am I surprised that they're kicking you? No. No. I am not. If you all do appreciate what I do, make sure to hit that like button and consider joining Tom's Army. As we're coming to the back end of this live, consider joining Tom's Army and help fund this beautiful program. If you appreciate the ad-free lives, become a member and pay it forward. If you want to see, the content a half an hour early when I do my updates, by being a member of Tom's Army, you are exclusively able to see that content without ads, I mind you. And you'll be able to talk amongst your peers in Tom's Army without the general public for a half hour. And I think that's a very good thing that you can have at your disposal, because when I upload my content, it takes a good half hour for YouTube to get done with all the checks and for the ads to be put on. So I have to wait through a checklist. So if you want the content early, I encourage you. And that's a great reason and a great way to show support and get a little bit back in return, to see a little bit of acknowledgement that I see you as you see me. Algo, how's it looking? And right now, this is what we're basically looking for, the first layer. If it does reverse here, which I suspect we're going to have this death cross. Yep, we did in the 30 and we got rejected so far. So we got to be careful here. If we don't come up very quickly, we got to be careful here. Speculators, be careful. Leverage traders, be careful, short or long, because this is not good area to be trying stuff. You could technically try the short with a stop loss at like 59.2, but that's not for the faint of heart at all. Not for the faint of heart indeed. Somebody said, Tom, or, how's Algo doing, huh? Been talking so much about XRP. Algo? It busted out of that short-term inverse head and shoulders. The very short term that we thought would. But as far as how's it looking, to be determined. To be determined, because we're in a massive I mean, there's many ways to look at algo, but I'm gonna simplify this for myself, for everybody, because we're not speculating, because we already came up to these targets back here. So what's the odds that we don't come back up there again for a little bit? Probably pretty strong. Alex Cobb is streaming. Expect a dump. Did he say it was going to pump? Or just because he's streaming, expect a dump? I don't know. I don't watch him. My brain, I don't like brain rot. What is going on here? Why is this doing this? Gotta love TradingView since their update. Well, I mean, isn't it true, though, normally when he comes on, he's saying it's about to pump, not dump? That's why I was seriously asking about the correlation of why it would be because it's going to dump. You know how I knew XRP was going to dump? The miles indicator was buzzing. Does anybody remember the miles indicator? Can anybody in here tell me the 3 parts of the miles indicator? Or the miles indicator, what it's made of? Let's see. Oh yeah, the USDT dominance is definitely going up. Wait a minute, what did I was looking at something with algo, but then I studied something, but I need to look at this with algo real quick. Because for some reason it wasn't letting me move this. Yeah, it was the inverse miles indicator. So it was basically made of parts. One part was do the opposite of what Miles says. The second part was our own opinion. And then the overwhelming factor was we do the opposite of what Miles says. So basically it was 3 parts of you do the inverse. It's inverse. So let's just see. For recent history, real quick. And I like Miles, but, he's got to get his... I'm not going to get into it. Dogecoin $1 is happening. No, I want to see his XRP, because I know he said something about XRP. I can't watch it, is all. Let's see. See, this is how you get, let's see, videos. XRP is about to go crazy to $7. XRP Ripple breaking news, $589. See this? See how you get the views? See, this is how you get the big bucks. XRP 9 million per token. XRP $100 price prediction. XRP 589. See that? I could do that every single day. Would that make you guys watch me more? Or I get fleece heisted and shisted out of existence, and then you won't even have any money when the real move comes. That's Bush League. That's what everybody does. That's what everybody does. That's what all my peers do, and it's annoying. Let's get ahead by fleecing everybody and telling them some spectacular number that you'd have to rub a frickin' genie to actually get. Newsflash. We don't have a friggin' genie. That's the whole reason I started this station, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry said the exact same thing about XRP, and you couldn't get any real knowledge. You know, so I try. I really, really try. I really, 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 really try, more than some of you might even realize. The 589, they're talking $589, not 558.9 cents. You see my XRP 589 moon badge that Tanya represents? She's been in Tom's Army for 2 years. Do you know when I made that badge 2 years? Not now. 2 years ago, last year, in October, November, it was available. That was precisely done with the vision that XRP would be at 58.9 cents at the end of 23, because everybody said we'd be at $589 by the end of 23. That's something that will always be overlooked on what I did with that badge. The fact that badge came out, and then it superseded that run when that actually happened at 589 at the end of the year, that was some good visioning. So it's interesting. Yeah, no. See, when you want to buy and you invest, you're really not supposed to trade. The only time you're ever supposed to trade is if you're adding more to your position and you buy, let's say you bought Algo right now, and you bought it at 17 cents. And then all of a sudden it comes back down, we round it down to 11. Maybe you bought it the whole way down, because once you buy it, you're under the impression that you've bought it at a good targeting buy. And then you're going to do whatever you can to add more if it allows you until it breaks up. So, you know, with Algo, maybe you were able to. And now it's showing the first signs of Algo. This is a back test. This is what XRP failed. XRP failed this exact same back test. So, Algo's doing this today. Yesterday, XRP had this back test that it failed. We came up and over just like this. We've back tested. And now, it doesn't mean that it's overwhelmingly just going to end, but at least for the initial, it failed because it came back below. Algo, on the other hand, it's still in that process. Has it failed? It looks more bull flaggy than XRP's did, but still a very big engulfing candle in the 4 hourly to the downside. That's a bearish engulfing, making a new low, lower low. So, is it bearish, or did it just come to retest the breakout of the formation? That's the question right now. And a lot of times, this could be a fake out. It's a fake out instead of a breakout. And then it would come back down to the uptrending support if it's a fake out. You'd get rejected here, and then you'd end up finding yourself at 12.25. So it's like, oh yeah, Algo. Some people are buying it right now, and I guarantee you some people buying leverage at 13.7 to ride it up to about 17% move to 16 cents. But what they're not realizing is if it comes through, that move down is about 11% back to the uptrend. Even if you get lucky, it's 10. Everybody's liquidated, even at an 8x liquidation. So that's Algo, but it certainly seems like in the immediate short term, it could be trying to push out here to about 16 if it can hold this back test. No guarantees of that. H-bar continues to have its nice little momentum. We were so excited about this, and this was the last ditch effort here, and we highlighted very clearly where the bottom was right there for at least the immediate rotation. And then it even came back in double bottom. I even double circled that when it happened. And then when it swung back around, I said, I remember when it hit here at 6-1, I said, come get me when it comes back down here. I'll wake up. And then it finally, well, it only took like a week or two to come back down. But I woke up because it bounced off here. And Tanya bought some. I know some others did. You know. And it bounced up now. It's bounced up. And now comes the point where most people are going to see it and they're going to go, oh my God, I got to buy this. It's getting out of hand. I'm going to buy it. Normally, when the greed starts to take over, Doesn't mean the pattern's done, but it does mean that we might be more of a, you know, just don't get in your own way, everybody. If you see something you want, take it. Take it. Because if you don't, nobody will. Tanya bought more today. So she believes in what she's buying, and these are the times when you would buy it. Even if it comes down 20%, it's more of an opportunity. She's already bought it before this move, so it wouldn't even put her down. So there's different ways of trading. I found the best way of being a trader is not to trade at all after you make a buy, unless it gives you the opportunity to buy more. Because if you're looking at it and you're like, oh my god, it went down 3%, I gotta get the fuck out, you're in the wrong business. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've made money where I haven't been down at some point. Like even in 2021, when all of you were watching me, I bought XRP. I was at 47-cent average at first. Then I had to buy more at 39, and it dropped us like 44, 43, 45 area. Then we bought more at 60 and 70, and it brought us right back up, and it ended up being like 47 point whatever. And, you know, but everybody got to watch me. If I had a 47-cent average, I'm being honest. Yes, we all know watch this. We all know what happened in 2021, right? Anybody who was watching, we had a 47-cent average. We watched it go up to $2 almost, and then we ended up selling when it had to rebound up and got rejected at $1.68. So that made us, just on XRP, what is that? Where am I at here? 47. Yeah, I don't think that was in the right spot, was it? But I want to make a point here, real quick. You'll understand it. Oh no, that might have been the right spot. So look, so to sit through this, to sit through that part of it, 250%, right? Now, at 47, look when it went to 37. I was 22% down. But I was begging everybody to keep buying the whole entire time. And we just kept adding. And it was a glorious outcome. It was a glorious outcome. It was. That was a magical time. And it's not the only time. But yeah, I know somebody else was talking about the second moon phase. I'm sorry, I got a little bit off topic. But it's been an hour and 2 minutes. I really do have to go because I got to go with Julie. I do these for an hour. No donations or anybody joined Tom's Army today, so I will try again tomorrow. But it's not all about the monetization. Although it does make me feel good when people believe in my work. I will say that. But there's a lot of members in Tom's Army here as well. But yeah, I got to go, everybody. Hopefully I'll see you back tomorrow. Hopefully this hit well. And thank